Okay, this morning I had an unfortunate incident with a tree. I won't go into the details, but needless to say, I'm not happy. And I was lucky from the aspect that it was only the taillight that was taken out. No damage to the body, so going to try replacing the taillight. Today we're going to remove it and see if we can make head or tails of this, and then pop a new one in another day. Now, to get in here, we're going to remove the cover for the taillight bulbs to expose the two bolts that hold them there, and we're going to have to remove this piece of trim right here. So we're going to start with the cover and the 8mm screw that holds the rosary bag web in place. Next, we're going to remove this little pop rivet. I do not have a special tool for that. I'm going to use a screwdriver. I figure if I break it, it should be cheap enough to just replace. But we're going to take that to get it under the trim. Okay. So next thing, as you can see, we already got the bolt out there and the cover's off. And you can see the two bolts that retain the assembly over there. Next, I took out the mat and protective cover so that I could get to the trim which they sat on. I also took out the tool kit with the styrofoam. You have to release the elastic that holds the jack in place, and that gently lifts out. And now we're going to remove the 10mm bolt holding this piece of trim. Now the trunk liner pops up. You can see the holes there. There's some white nylon trim. Okay. The trunk trim is now lifted up and pulled forward. There are some white nylon plugs under the black plastic that go into those holes there and hold it in place. We pull back the liner, and now you can see there are two bolts there and one right over here. Now we have three bulbs in close proximity. All they need is a quarter turn to the left, and then the bulbs should pop right out. Okay, there's one, and now we'll go after the other off tape. Okay, the bulbs are out. Now the bolts are held on by 10mm nuts, so we will get those out, and then I guess the whole thing should just pop out as a unit. Okay, we'll be back again. Now, as it turns out, one stud is too long to fit in a socket with a ratchet, so since I didn't have a 10mm end wrench handy, I put the socket adapter on, the socket on, and used a pliers to loosen it. Okay, so you may want to keep that in mind to make sure you have a 10mm wrench available. Now, to remove the assembly, turns out it's quite easy. There is a nylon stud off to the right around the turn. I will show you in a second. So you will want to pull the lens straight back. Straight back. Because you have a grip here, a stud here, and the receiver's on in here. So there you go. The lens is out. Now tomorrow I'll see if I can arrange to get a new one to put in. And so much for my misfortune. I'm not going to bother waiting to show the replacement. Just follow the steps in reverse and it should go in nice and simply. Looks like there is no gasket involved, which is a bit of a relief. And you're in business. Good luck.